middle of July. Things are just cruising along. I hope everybody's having a blessed and wonderful summer. We always do our Monday Rev Share interview. And again, we have another rock star here. Let me give you Marguerite's background real quick before we kick in here. Meet Marguerite. She is a real estate expert with 32 plus years of experience and a mission to help you build a business around your life. Since starting in 93, she's assisted over 4,000 families and shares her wisdom on her podcast and online training programs. Her best-selling book, 100 Things I Love About You, reflects her 35-year marriage while raising six kids and eight grandchildren, both in North Carolina. Marguerite's journey from a simple education to diverse jobs led her to help others see what's possible. Her mantra is simple: build a business around your life, not the other way around. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of your career, Marguerite is here to help you toward a thriving and balanced life. All right. Well, welcome, Marguerite. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We sincerely appreciate it. I always kind of like to start things off before we jump into EXP. Anything else you just want us to know about you, maybe personally, your family, anything you'd like to share?
Well, let me start by saying I'm in California, not North Carolina. So
Okay.
it's early out here. It's 8 a.m. out here, so bright and early. Where are you guys at?
All over. So we got Colorado. Who else in the house? Shout out where you guys are from.
Los Angeles.
Kansas City.
Mississippi.
Wow.
Ah,
Yeah, all
okay.
over. I see New
Los
Orleans
Angeles.
there, and yeah, all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what moved you out to California?
well, I've actually lived here my entire life. I was born in the town of Paradise. I like to say I was a heavenly baby. So I was born a couple hours from where I live now. So I've actually lived here my whole life. I've never lived anywhere else. And now I don't love the taxes here and the politics, but guess what? I live in one of the best places on earth. So
Yes,
there's a
yes.
price associated with that, right?
Yeah, no,
Um,
no doubt. And I know Cali's a little crazy, but it is so beautiful. It
it's
is so.
beautiful here. And I live in Northern California, which I'm a couple hours from everything. I'm a couple hours from Tahoe, from Napa
Nice.
Valley, from San Francisco, from
Yeah.
I can go to the snow and the beach in the same day. So
You got it. I've been to all those places. I had another business about 10 years ago, and I went out to San Diego and LA about four times a year for like a 5 year span. And just always was blown away. No matter what time I went out there, it was like 70 to 80 every day. All the cafes have outdoor seating. Yeah, it's just wish,
well,
yeah, the
I'm about
taxes.
8 hours north. I'm up outside of Sacramento, so I'm near Tahoe, but we
Yeah.
still have great weather. I mean, today
Oh,
it's
yeah.
in the
And
80s.
Tahoe's beautiful.
It's-
Beautiful.
I can't
All right, well,
complain.
let's just jump into this. I'm curious. So, how were you first approached about EXP and what was it that made you move over?
So this is actually a great story. I'll try to make it as short as possible. But my husband Joe and I had our own brokerage for 22 years. So we had an independent brokerage, and then we were part of a franchise for about 5 years before we buttoned things up. And by most standards, we were really successful. We had 120 agents. It appeared we were doing really well until we really started to look at what was the true bottom line and what would it look like if we sold this company. And when we started looking into selling it, a couple things rose to the top. First of all, they would pull my personal production out of the company because I was an owner and I was the biggest producer at the company, frankly.
Hmm.
And when you pulled my personal production out of the company was hemorrhaging. I mean, we weren't making any money, which is 99.9% of most brokerages out there.
Hmm.
They're if you don't have if the owner is not producing, they're not thriving. And so when we started really looking at that, we realized that if we tried to sell it, somebody at the time we were in a franchise, somebody would have to buy that franchise. And that franchise didn't make sense at the time, which most franchises don't.
Hmm.
So we ended up shutting our doors in January of 2015 and said, we're just going to go back to being small, little independent brokerage. Our agents scattered like flies, right? 20 said, we're going to go wherever you go. So we went back to being a small independent broker, and I was happy with that. I'm like, this is good. I'm gonna keep my life simple. I'll do my own deals. Agents can do their deals, whatever. I got recruited by everybody. I got flown out to Austin. I got contacted by Remax. And
Hmm.
and I'm not saying any of that to brag. I'm just saying that I was a big producer, and so people were coming after me. And truth be told, none of those made any sense. I was like, I could go do my own thing. I don't need to be like, brand only matters when you have nothing else, in my opinion. When you're newer agent and you need a name to hang your hat on, but otherwise you are the brand. You're the agent, you're the brand. So I was happy as a clam, life was going good, and I got a phone call from Brent Day. And he said, Marguerite, and now I've known Brent for 25 years. I've known him personally for a long time. And I say this with the most love and respect. I say it to Brent. Brent was always selling something. And I said, thanks, Brent. I'm not interested. I wish you the best. Good luck to you. And a couple of days later, he called me and goes, hey, do you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, where? He goes, I'm across the street. And I'm like, oh, like, all right, all right. So I went and had lunch with him. And honestly, he did not say one word about EXP the whole time. He kept asking me about my life, what's going on, how's Joe, my husband has kids. Finally, at the end of lunch, I'm like, all right, Brent, what are you selling? He's like, meet me at my office tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and bring Joe. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, okay. So we went to his office the next morning, and Rob Flick, if any of you guys know Rob Flick did a live go-to webinar. And we sat in Brent's office at 8 o'clock in the morning, had my coffee, and Brent was eagle-eyeing me every time I'd look at my phone. He'd be like, put your phone away. And I'll be honest, about 15 minutes in, I'm like, I think this makes sense. Like, this is kind of wild, right? And
what year was this, Marguerite?
2016. So it'll be
16.
10
Okay.
years in October that I've been at the EXP.
Wow. Okay.
And so I was like, this is kind of crazy. I looked at Joe, I'm like, I think we really need to think about this. So we went home, and of course I went through all the stuff in my head. I'm like, we already just shut down the company. Like, what are our agents gonna say? People are gonna be like crazy. But at the end of the day, I really looked at it and I said, we need to do what's best for us, no matter what the agents want to do. And we decided to sign up. Now, I will tell you that back then, I don't know how many, if any of you have been around that long, but it was a hot mess getting onboarded, and we had a brokerage. So it took us over a month. So I met with Brent the beginning of October, I think it was. And we finally got onboarded. My actual reset date is December 1. So it took us a while to get through the process. And again, at the time when we joined EXP, there were only 1,400 agents in the whole company.
Wow.
And so I didn't, we didn't know what onboarding was like. I was used to going and move my license. That was it,
Yep.
So it was a whole process. And actually prior to that, Brent got Glenn on the phone. Actually, Glenn came out. They had a different president back then, Vicky Bartholomew.
Yeah.
I spent a few hours on the phone with Vicky. I spent a lot of time with leadership trying to figure out, hey, does this make sense? Because I didn't want to make another mistake. I'd made a huge mistake in buying a franchise, and I didn't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
And they were all great. I mean, they were all just fantastic. I just loved them to pieces. I was like, oh, we'll try it out. Everyone thought Brent and I went into business together because we're in the same market. So they thought we started a business together, or we thought, and of course we got all the criticism. My colors are ugly. What's that logo? What does EXP mean? What do you mean a cloud-based? That thing's never going to make it. That's never going to work. You guys are, we heard it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Brent and I and Rob, Brent did lunch and learns every week. And then we did live go-to meeting webinars. Brent, Rob Flick, and I did almost every single day. We had 2 to 3 going on a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was pretty crazy. It was crazy. People, like I said, thought we were nuts. So, and I'll tell you that in hindsight, it was obviously the best decision I ever made. If this didn't make sense, you guys, I'm a broker. I could go start my own company tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Take me half an hour to set it all up, hang my hat, and do my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I remember people said, well, you're getting 100% now. Why would you go do that? Where you're paying a $16,000 cap. And I said, well, I did pay a $16,000 cap. And that first year I made $43,000 in revenue share.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that ROI all day long, right? 7 days to Sunday. And of course, it's improved, from there. And, everyone thought, oh, the cloud stuff, like they all thought the cloud-based stuff was crazy until 2020 hit. And then the whole world was in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And we were built for it at that time. We're like, we're built for this, right? Like we didn't even skip a beat when COVID came along. We just kept moving forward. And so, I mean, it has definitely changed my life, and I don't even know how many ways. And I really genuinely don't know of another company, in my opinion, that can say the same thing. Let's change people's lives.
Yeah.
And it became very apparent in 2020 when not only did we were going through COVID, dealing with all the cloud-based and all the stuff we're doing, I got breast cancer in June of 2020.
Mm.
And I was like, how I'm the main breadwinner for my family. Like, how am I going to take care of my family? What am I going to do? And that very month, I got a revenue share check that exceeded $20,000. And I said, I'm going to be okay. I can focus on my health instead of focusing on being out there hustling and producing and doing what I need to do. So I never even thought about a company being able to change lives like that. And then the stock, I know the stock's down right now. I get it. But I didn't when we joined the company, it was a penny stock and it was trading for like $1 a share. And of course, I was part of that wave where it went all the way up to, 100 something and completely changed our life. I mean, we've been able to do so. We retired my husband. We've been able to completely remodel our house. We've invested in a lot of areas. We've done a lot with that. And I hear people talk about what they've done with that stock money many times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when people are complaining right now, well, the stock is down, we're going out of business. First of all, stop and take a moment and look at all the real estate stocks. Go look them all up. Go look up Real, go look up Remax, go look up, Compass, Anywhere, Zillow, Redfin. Look at them all. And don't just look at the price today. Look at the price over the last 5 years, and you'll see that all of them have been this sharp curve because we're in kind of a weird market, right?
Yeah.
A wonky market. And the investors are not super confident about the real estate market. So it is what it is. But to me, all that stock was free anyway. I wasn't
Yeah.
earning stock anywhere else. I was like, this is cool. I get stock when I cap. I get stock when I, icon. I get stock when I close a deal. I get stock when somebody comes in. So it didn't really, it's never really rattled me. I've just looked at it as kind of an extra bonus, like, okay, that's cool. I look at it as something for, future retirement. I don't know. But I genuinely love this company so much. And I never ever thought I would say anything like that because I was never I don't care about brands. I don't care about companies. I mean, for 22 years, I ran my own shop. I just did my own thing. I flew under the radar. People didn't even know, what I was doing or wasn't doing. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when a title officer came into me and said, you're like #2 in production in the whole MLS. I'm like, what? Like I never even kept track of it. And I'm not now. Now my production, I don't want to work that hard anymore. I put in my time. But I never really paid attention to, the rankings or stats or any of that. I just never wrote, right? I mean, I had kids to feed and a family to take care of. And so I feel incredibly blessed to be a part of this company. I feel blessed every day that I listened to Brent and that, he came and talked to me. I feel very blessed for all the people that are in my organization that, I get to help and support and,
Yeah.
the collaboration here. I mean, just so you guys know, I'm not part of Sean's downline. He's not part of my downline. So I have no financial interest in being here. And I see that with everybody at EXP for the most part. They're more than happy to help. They're happy to hop on a call, step in, talk to people, do whatever they needed. I don't have any other incentive other than Sean called me. I said, okay, I made the time, right? So it's not a thing where like I'm getting paid or I'm here to promote a product or I'm here to, sell something. I have nothing to sell. I mean, you could buy my book, I guess, if you wanted to, but I have nothing to sell. So that's the thing that I think is the game changer of this company. And we were the first ones to do that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, there's the first one in. Like everyone wants to be Amazon, but no one wants to do what Amazon did to become Amazon. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's where I think that this is powerful. And when I look at who is running the show here at EXP, first of all, Glenn, the founder, is the most brilliant mind. Like if you've ever had an opportunity to sit, and I've spent a lot of time with Glenn over the 10 years. In the early days when, he wasn't that big of a deal, um, that he's just so genuine and so brilliant. Like the way his mind works, I think he's like an alien or something. I mean, he's genuinely brilliant, and his first thought always is what's best for the agents. What's best for the agents? What's best for the agents? What can we do to support the agents? What's best for them?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the guy's, I don't know, is he a billionaire now or something? I don't know what. He makes a ton of money. So he's definitely not doing it just for the money, right? And then when Leo came along, I'm like, holy crap, Leo's a
Yeah.
game changer. I've known Leo for 25 years. I knew him back in the REO days when he was a young punk, out there, crushing it and selling, 800 to 1,000 homes a year. I don't know, he was 22 years old or something ridiculous. Leo is, we could not have gotten anybody better to lead us through these last few years. Leo is just
Agree.
fire. And what I love about Leo is that he remembers you, like I remember he came up to me at EXP before I knew he was here doing what he was doing. He came up to me at an EXP event. He goes, Marguerite, what are you doing here? I'm like, Leo, what are you doing here? And he goes, I just got hired. At the time he was I think he was chief market. I don't know what his original title was, chief marketing or something. I think he was. I don't remember what his initial title was before he became CEO. And just such a great all over guy. I mean, his core is genuine, right? He's a family
Yeah.
man. He gets home to be with his kids. That's his number one priority. And I love that. So, well, there you go. That was your long answer to a short question.
Well, let me say this because you don't know this about me, Rob Flick. I knew Rob about 4 years before I joined DXP. So he approached me in April of 2017.
Oh, really?
Rob Flick is my sponsor as
Is
well.
he really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. I love Rob the Pieces. He's a character for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so interesting, right? Because he can go 6 months without doing anything with the XP and go, oh gosh, I got to go fill 15 more personals in. He'll hit the phone in 2 months, he'll do it. You're like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's
Rob is
very
so
gifted.
great. I mean, and in the beginning, like I remember when the first event that he did, we went to, it was 2017, and we went to Puerto Vallarta, right? Was it called? No, it was Puerto Vallarta. He did a retreat, and there were 80 of us at that whole thing. And I remember him and Gene, and I got a picture somewhere. There's 80 of us in this picture. And they're like, it'll never be this small again. And of course, it never has. It's only, what, 100 times that now? I don't know. What are we at? 90,000, 80 some odd thousand? I don't know how many users we have right now. But, and Rob is brilliant. I mean, if you were
Yeah,
to meet him somewhere, you wouldn't think he was anybody, right? He's just very mellow and quiet. And well, I don't know if he's mellow and quiet, but depends on where you actually meet him. But Rob is really a great guy, and
yeah,
he is the true meaning of simplify. How can I make it to work the least amount of hours possible? He
yeah.
wants to work the least amount he possibly can.
It's,
And is that not a
I,
great goal? Like, come on.
oh
That's a
yeah,
great
I
goal.
need to bring him back on. We had him on. It's probably been a year and a half. Need to bring him back on. Yeah, his verbiage. I was with him in a direct sales company, and that whole 3 foot rule, he could bounce into anybody anywhere, and if they were open and had the right energy, like he says, he would get them interested and attract them to anything he was doing. I mean, yeah, he's unreal.
Yeah,
Let's talk a little bit about first of all, what's the size of your organization?
I am at 428 today.
Wonderful. And what does your front line look like, if you don't mind me asking?
I have, well, a couple things. You guys, I'm sure know that if you cap or make icon, it opens up different levels, right? So I'm an
Yeah.
icon agent, so I have all 7 levels open, but
Yeah.
I
So you
have
don't
like
have to worry about it.
15. It's
Okay.
hard to tell now because when you do cap, they show you as having 30. But I
Gotcha.
think
Gotcha.
I have, let me go look. I will go look. I'll tell you right now.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. Even if you cap, right? 5 levels are open.
Yeah, it opens 5
Yeah.
levels when you cap.
I mean, that's
So I
amazing.
have at the moment 16 FLQAs. And
Okay.
I
Good for
have,
you.
how many front lines do I have? I have 30 FLAs at the moment.
And are
That's
you still running a team? So let's call an organization a team. So how big is your team?
So I still run an EXP. I mean, I still run a personal production team. I have 7 agents on my team.
Okay.
We do about 45 million a year, 40 to 40. Last year, I think we did 45.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you've been here for a long time. Let's kind of jump to like the last couple of years, right? It's so different attracting back in the day versus attracting today, to a certain degree. So let's talk about maybe the last few years. First of all, your 7 team members and so forth, do they also attract or are they just fully production?
On my personal production team,
Yeah, on your production team.
I have one that is attracting agents, but most of them are not. They're just
Okay.
producing.
And out of your 428, whether we want to call them generals or what, out of curiosity, how many of them might even have more than 10 on their front line out of the 428?
I
Just
have,
approximately. Because
well,
it's
I have
always,
3 that are big, that are focused.
yep.
You guys know Gail DeMarco, she's in my organization. I have a group out of Michigan, Lee and Julie Moritas. They've got a pretty good group going. So I would say that I have, well, it says right here, count of team leaders. I have 23. So it's team leader.
Got you.
So what is
Okay.
team leader? They changed all the titles, so I don't even
Yeah,
know what
exactly.
they are anymore. But I basically have 23 people that have attracted, because team leaders, I think you have to have attracted 10 or more, right?
That's what I'm trying to remember if it's 5 or 10. But
Red
so you got,
shared group size. I have like,
so that's pretty good then. You got 23 of those 428 that have 10 or more. Wow, that's pretty good. And then 3 big ones that are building.
yeah.
I got you. And do you have, so you've been doing this for a while. Let's talk about maybe your focus today, where you're at right now. Do you spend a certain amount of time? Do you set aside each week, I'm going to attract this amount of time production, or you just kind of roll with it? Or what's it look like for you on a weekly basis?
So I'll be honest, I've never been a cold caller. I've never been somebody who just calls agents. I've been in this area in business for, going on 33 years. So I do reach out to a lot of local agents and people that I know, and have conversations. Meet up for coffee, meet up for lunch. But I try to make the focus not about, I'm not there to recruit them. I'm there to
Yeah.
just, what can I do to help support them and help them build their business? A perfect example is I have a couple that had come to me probably 6 years ago. He was in the mortgage business. She was a real estate agent. And she had joined EXP. And then EXP made the policy that if you are married, that they have to be part of EXP too, if they have a real estate license. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
knew about that one. And that was pretty controversial, still is somewhat, but so she had to leave because her husband wasn't coming to EXP. So it's been about 5 years, I think. And they were at a small independent brokerage where he could do loans in real estate.
Hmm.
And they called me about 2 weeks ago and said, all right, we're ready. And so it's been a long time. And they
Yeah.
finally came and joined, right? Um,
And
so
was it the
Brent,
same thing it was the same thing you were talking about earlier, and I hear it all the time because they were having trouble being profitable. If they took their production out, they were upside down. Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm blessed to be in Brent's backyard where he does a monthly event. So he brings somebody in every month. We have
Yeah.
Jay Kinder coming next week, and does a big event. So, and if you don't have Brent in your backyard, put on your own event, right?
Hmm.
Like, and those events can be small. They could be from grab some people. Elizabeth Riley does her AHA Club, and she's happy to share all that stuff with all of you guys. Um, do a get together once a month, put it in your calendar. And, we now started doing content days, which is super fun. We find a expensive house and ask them if we can do content. We invite other agents and I do a thing called Tuesday tune-ups every week. That's on Zoom. You can check that out at tuesdaytuneups.com. Open to anybody with any company. I always have it said, and sometimes I'll get 2 or 3, sometimes I get 10 or 12. Sometimes I get people that aren't with EXP who just want to come on. I do training about a variety of subjects. It's always that call is production related. So, I mean, I think that no different than anything else, I've built my business as a referral-based business, my personal production business. And that's what I've also done in my EXP organization, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you have a list of people you're following up with and checking in? Like Jake is going to be here Thursday. I have a long list of people. I'm like, hey, you got to come see Jay. Hey, you got to come see Jay. I'm texting and calling and, you know, I'll save you a seat. He's an awesome speaker, you know, so I try to bring guests every month to that event whenever possible
Okay.
so that people can see. And what's funny is I've watched over the last few years how many other brokerages kind of copied, you know, they're copying that, but none of them stick with it like Brent. And I will tell you that Brent, if nothing else, is consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he has literally done a live event every month, I think, pretty much since we joined.
Yeah. That's incredible.
You know, then he does, you know, he did his lunch and learns consistently. He did all this different stuff consistently. And that really is what it's about. And that applies to everything, right? It's
Yep.
like, how consistent are you in your relationships, in your business? Like, what does that look like? What does that look like? What are you doing on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where so many of us, including myself, drop the ball, right? We try it out, we did it once, and you know, maybe we do it and only like 3 people show up. And like, well, that was a waste of time. Well, if one person comes, it was not a waste of time, right? And there were times when Brent and I would have nobody in the room. And him and I would practice and be like, okay, sit in the audience, I'll do it, right? And we would just keep practicing the model explained over and over and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there would be times when that room would be packed, standing room, standing down the staircase, you know, and other times when nobody would show up, but kept doing it over and over and over and over again, because those times when nobody was there, we got to practice, right? So create something in your market. What can you do to focus more on giving than being worried about getting? How can you help people in your, you know, the real estate business right now is tough. We're not gonna lie, we're all, you know, we're all having to kind of figure things out, right? Things are shifting. I don't know what market you guys are in, but here in California, buyers are taking their more time. Sellers are not being realistic yet. I mean, we're in this like kind of wonky real estate market, and people are struggling. You
Yeah.
have an entire generation of real estate agents and consumers that have never seen a down market, that have only seen the top of the market from 2000, the bottom of the market 2010 continue to rise, right? And
Yeah.
interest rates go like this. That's all they've seen. In the last 10 years, all they've seen is prices skyrocketing and interest rates low. And then all of a sudden things shifted and people are like, what? That world is ending.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I always tell agents most time I talk to them that last year, 72% of approximately 1.5 million in North America did not sell a house. That's
Yeah.
just the
I
craziest
mean,
stat
and
ever.
that's not that unusual, to be honest with you, in the real estate market in general.
That high? Three
I
quarters?
the, I truly remember NAR coming out with stats a few years ago that said the average agent across the country sells 3 homes a year.
Yeah.
The average, okay? So if you take last year I sold 25, so I knocked out 8 agents, right? So if you think about that, the average agent doesn't sell that many houses anyway. They get into this business long enough to piss off their family and friends and get out, right? They come in, they do a few deals for their family members or friends, or they get in because they think the agent doesn't make any money. And I just sold my house. That agent made 10 grand. I can do it for 10 grand, right? They think that all we do is put a sign in the yard. So The average agent gets into this business because they think they can do a better job than you did. And they have no idea. I say all the time, masters make things look easy. If Kelly's doing a transaction and it was smooth, everyone thinks she didn't do anything. The truth is, she's like a duck, right? Well, like this, right? She's getting all kinds of stuff happening behind the scenes that nobody even knows about. They're oblivious to it because she's good and she's a professional and she's making it look like the waters are calm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we do as real estate agents every day. And people don't see it and don't appreciate and don't really understand until they're in the middle of it. My daughter-in-law right now joined my team a few months ago. And she has, for the last 5 years, just been on the sidelines thinking, I don't really, you're home a lot, you don't work that hard. Like she doesn't think I work, right? And she came to me a couple weeks ago. She was like, oh my God, I totally understand now what you're like. She has a whole new appreciation for me and what I do and how I
Yeah.
make all this stuff happen, right? Because she had a deal go sideways 7 ways to Sunday. And we were able to, pull it together and make it all work. But we were able to pull it together because I have the knowledge and experience to make that
Mhm.
come together, right? Otherwise, most agents lose it. Those deals fall apart unless they have a strong mentor or someone around. They
Mhm.
don't know how to manage all those moving parts and pieces that are going on in a real estate deal. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, we've got this whole industry of all these people who jumped into the market because the market was hot and everybody, that all you had to do was answer the phone and you could go sell $1 million houses, at least here in California. And that's just not the real world. It's not the long-term play, right? What did you say here, Hunter? That was actually interesting. What is it?
Yeah. Why does the NAR put out these numbers? The latest states that 1.3 million active agents and almost 1 million don't have a cell. The truth is, those numbers are so inaccurate. It jumped up.
Well, NAR, we're not even going to go down that rabbit hole because that's a whole
Yeah.
10-hour conversation.
Yeah.
NAR is not here for us.
Yeah. And that's more production focused anyway.
It is, and I mean, and the truth is, good agents are going to sell more than 3 homes a year if they're putting in the work, right? I mean, an average agent can sell more than 3 homes a year if they do the work. But you have to remember, we only get paid on the results. And I think I mean, when somebody calls and says, I'm thinking about getting my real estate license, I'm like, all right, let's have a chat. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just tell you the real world. I would love, if you think you can do this after all the stuff I'm going to tell you, then you should absolutely go get your license and come do it. But if any of it scares you, you better go find a job at Taco Bell or something. It's not gonna work. And honestly, I mean, there's what the 80-20 rule, it's really the 90-10 rule. I mean,
Yeah. No doubt.
and it's the same applies to agent attraction, recruiting. I mean, the first thing agents say all the time, I'm not a recruiter. I'm not a recruiter. I'm like, okay, what's your favorite restaurant? They'll go, oh my gosh, I love El Fornillo down the street. That place is amazing. And I said, how many people have you referred to go to that great Italian restaurant? Oh my gosh, anybody who asks me about Italian food, I tell them that's where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? That's what recruiting is all about. Do you love it here? If you do, you need to let people know this is what you
Yeah.
do, and I love it here.
So your primary way, and I get this with most agents, especially veteran agents, inviting to events, local market going to have coffee, not talking about EXP, getting to know them, how can you help them, just serving, giving value. Um, so do you mind me asking, of your 400 something agents, how many are local? And is that how you've done almost all of your attraction through events and through coffee? Or are there some people on other areas, other states that you've attracted through social media, referral from a friend? Kind of what does that look like?
I would say probably half are local to this market.
Good.
But the rest are, I mean, I'll tell you one thing I think both Brent and I did in our career that had nothing to do with agent attraction. Because we went to events. Because I was a small independent brokerage, I wasn't part of a big office and a big brand. So I went to, all the different real estate events I could go to. Back then it was Howard Hanna and, lots of different people, Diane Kennedy, Joe Stump, Tom Ferry, well, it was Mike Ferry back then before Tom. And, went to a lot of these Star Power. Went to any events. I went to the National Association of Realtors meeting where I met people, around the world. I went to our state association meetings. I got involved in Women's Council of Realtors. I was very active and out there networking and meeting agents around the country. And this is kind of a funny little story. I went to an Inman event in San Francisco. Probably in, I don't know, 2012 or 13 Inman event. And I met a guy named Randy Toby, who, funny as it sounds, this is how small the world is. CRM called Lion Desk at the time. And he was stalking me on Twitter. And I never go on Twitter, like ever. So I was shocked that I was getting DMs on Twitter. I'm like, who's DMing me? Like, I never went on Twitter. I might have had a few hundred followers by default. And so he would DM me and he asked me questions and like, we ended up having this long conversation on Twitter. And he said he was going to be at Inman in San Francisco. So I said, hey, I'm going to Inman. Let's connect. Ended up meeting, having lunch. Great guy. Built a great relationship. He was from Michigan. So when I joined EXP, I called up Randy. I'm like, Randy, who do you know in the real estate industry? Because he wasn't actually a real estate agent. He was selling the CRM. And he said, I know a lot of agents. If I come across anybody, I'll definitely send them your way. So he calls me one day, he says, hey, I got this friend, Julie. And he goes, she's at KW. She's been a newer agent there and she's thinking about making a change. I said, okay. So I gave her a call. She was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something just like this. And her husband joined. They now have 120 agents under them, I think 125 agents under them. And they're in Michigan. I met another guy out of Arkansas that during the REO days, I was going to all the REO conferences and Steve Blackwood, him and I became good friends. Called him. So I called people that I had met at these events. So you guys, if you don't go to events now, go to any real estate related event, because not only can it help you with your EXP organization, but I've done lots of referrals over the years from people that I met in wherever I was, right?
Yep.
Chicago, Colorado, whatever. I would go to these events and I would learn a lot at the events. So that's what was super impactful. Number one, it would help me in my business because if I meet you in Colorado, you're not my competition, right? Like we're not in the same neighborhood. So I can copy all your stuff. You can copy all my stuff, which, here's the truth, you guys. People say they want your stuff all day long and they never do it. So 99% of them will never even do what you give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, that's really the crazy part about the whole thing is I share it all. Like there's no original thoughts. Whatever you are doing, I promise you stole from someone. You took it, you tweaked it a little bit, you made it your own little bit of style, but whatever you're doing in your business, you got from somebody else. So share it, right? We're not in competition. And, so that to me was getting out there and networking and meeting people and getting to events is probably the best thing I ever did in my career. And I tell the young new agents now, go to NAR, go to Inman, go to your state meetings, go to your local association meetings. If a Tom Ferry comes to town, go. You can get free tickets, right? Even if, and the best events, honestly, are out of your backyard. Like, find an event in Colorado, find an event in North Carolina, find an event and tag a vacation onto it, and you can write the whole thing off. Right? Go do events somewhere. We're in a people business, you guys. As much as AI and technology and all that. We're in this world where we're more connected than ever, but people are craving that connection. They want to see the whites of your eyes. They want to feel your energy. They want to be around exciting, inspiring people that are making moves and doing things. People want to be around those people. You can be that person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So go to events, meet people, sell value, have monthly events or every 2 weeks. If you're on here right now and you don't have an event going in your area again, and maybe you're not the one who can lead it, I bet you if you reach out to 10EXP agents, you'll find a handful who'd love to do that and start making a monthly meeting. Then you can start inviting, get some of the big players, reach out to your icon agents in your area. Yeah, I hear this stuff all the time, Marguerite. I don't know how many people, like you said, you hear the same stuff. How many people take advantage of it and do it? That I
It's not
don't.
rocket science. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like losing weight. What do you got to do? You got to eat right and exercise.
Burn more calories than you eat.
But you can
Yeah.
go get pills and shots and do everything
Yeah.
on the planet. But at the end of the day, you got to eat right and exercise.
Yeah, no doubt. Any just questions for Marguerite at all? Anybody have any other questions? Kelly, go ahead.
Yeah. Marguerite, what are you doing to encourage your agents to attract and to show them that value?
Well, I think that it comes down to being an example, right? And be the leader that you want them to be. You can only lead by example, right? You can't lead a horse to water, right? I mean, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. I'll tell you, same thing, get your people to events. Get them to Brent's Cabo, which is going to be in Scottsdale next year. But
Scottsdale, yeah.
get them to his event. Get them to any of these events that people are doing. Get them to build events. You got EXPCon coming up. Are any of your people in your group going? If not, encourage them to go, right? Share rooms, carpool, whatever that takes. Because I'll give you an example. I have a gal named Olga who had been in my prior brokerage. So she's been with me for a long time. I helped her get her license 20 plus years ago. And she joined EXP, but she just did it. She goes, I'm not a recruiter. I'm gonna do my thing. She did her own thing, right? 5 years later, I'm like, hey, you want to go to Cabo? Let's go to Cabo, right? And she goes, oh yeah, I'd love to go to Cabo. She goes to Cabo, and I kid you not, she's like, oh my God, this is so incredible. This is so amazing. How come I haven't come before? I go, I've invited you every year and you haven't come. Come to find out, her sister was a luxury agent at Compass in San Francisco and had been for 18 years as a real estate agent. She had never talked to her sister about EXP.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, my sister will never come. She does her own thing. She immediately came back. Her sister's like, why didn't you talk to me about this sooner? Her sister's now joined. They now have, I don't know, 10 or 12 people in their group.
Love it.
But, right? So start with your level 1 and level 2 people, you guys, and get with them. What can you do to help support them? What can you do to get them to events? How can you help them? Because I promise you, Brent preaches this all day long. Get people to events. Big decisions are made at events. Get them to events. Now, EXP events are great. He puts on tons of them. There's lots of people who put on lots and lots of events. There's build events across the country. I know Tina Call does a lot of stuff out in North Carolina. A lot of these guys are all doing events and they don't care if you come. Right? Buy a ticket, hop on a plane and go. Go and support other people. Go to those events. And some of those already have people that are in EXP, but a lot of them are open to anybody with any company. Search real estate events.
Yeah.
And you'll come up with a long list. And if it's not in your budget right now to travel, there's lots of cheap ways you can go. You can find cheap flights. You can share a room with somebody. You can stay at the Motel 6 instead of staying at the Hilton. I mean, how bad do you want it? Or do you want it at all? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
no one can decide that but you.
Yeah. I got several agents in my group that same thing. When they went to the event, is when the light bulb went off. And they,
100%.
yeah, multiple people crossed the stage that, maybe been in real estate for 12, 18, 24 months that were blowing it up either on rev share, production, whatever. And you just hear all these stories and see all these different people. And eventually someone relates with you and has you believe going, my gosh, if they can do it, I can do it.
And you
You're
guys, it only
exactly right.
takes one. It only takes one.
Yeah.
Brent
Yep.
is Sheila's one, right? And how did she get Brent? She literally called him out of the blue, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How did Rob get Sheila? He went to a broker training something. He went to like a continuing education class or something and met
Yeah.
Sheila.
Yeah.
So you guys, it only takes one. And most, just like real estate sales, just like the NAR numbers over there, most are going to do nothing. What, 85% of the company doesn't even bring on agents. So, but it only takes one. It just takes one. But it's no different than real estate. I remember Casey Jiha told me something a while ago because we were talking about agent attraction and she goes, so Marguerite, do you have a process for how you deal with buyers? So I'm going to ask you guys, how many of you have a process in how you deal with buyers? Do you have a presentation? Do you have a checklist? How many of you guys, raise your hand, have a process you do with buyers? One of you?
Leanne, Hunter, do you guys have a process for buyers? No?
So you can put it in the
No,
comments.
not really.
Okay. So how many of you have a process for sellers? Do you have a seller presentation? Do you have a checklist? Do you have a process of what you do when you meet with a seller? Did you somewhere along the line learn how to handle sellers, how to handle buyers? So then Casey asked me the next question. What's your process for recruiting agents? What's your process for taking care of your existing and recruiting agents? I'm like, I don't have one. You guys, somewhere along the line, you were a brand new real estate agent and you didn't know diddly squat, right? You were kind of fake it till I make it. And oh my gosh, somebody referred me a cousin. I need to go figure out how to sell real estate, right? So it's no different in agent attraction. The difference is agent attraction is over and over and over again. You bring on an agent, you're getting paid over and over and over and over again. At this point, I don't really do a whole lot. If I come across somebody who wants to join me, cool, all right. But I don't do like a ton of, getting out there hustling hard. And I still earn a significant amount of money every month, whether I sell a house or not. That totally is a game changer. I mean, if you guys found an agent in your organization and helped them attract somebody and they got an extra $500 a month, that can actually be life-changing money. That can pay somebody's food bill, their utility bill, money towards their mortgage, a car payment. That little amount of money can be a game changer for somebody. And why would you keep that a secret?
Yeah. Let me ask you, Marguerite, your group, do you do anything for retention throughout your group of this 400? Do you have weekly meetings with them? I guess you invite them to your Tuesdays and all that, but anything else to continue with that retention with the group?
So a lot of things, what I do is, yes, I invite them to Tuesday tune-ups. We do content days. Right now, I'm making sure that all of them know about the Jay Kinder event this week, which is Thursday. So I will reach out to as many as I can possibly connect with. Hey guys, we're having this event. I have a group text locally. I just set up a group in the hub because I
Okay.
have a Facebook group. But what I love about the Facebook group is everybody's on Facebook. What I don't love about the Facebook group is there's no real way to manage or monitor the people who've left EXP unless I go in and I go through the group all the time. So yes, you're right. Reach is great for group text.
Yep.
I message, I do have people's birthdays on my phone, so I call and sing them happy birthday on their birthday. I try to stay in contact with them on a regular basis. I do send out weekly emails. I forward some of the stuff that comes from upper levels, like Elizabeth Riley sends out a thing every week on what she has available. And I try to share a lot of that stuff. I'll be honest, most don't show up, most don't respond, some even unsubscribe and like, okay, when they
Yep.
want it, they'll want it, and there's not a whole lot I can do. But I make every attempt to stay in contact with as many as I can. I call a lot. I focus on my first and second line, but I also go down through and see who's rising. Like I have a great gal named Angie who is just super motivated to grow and attract, and she's on my like level 5 or 6, I think.
Mm.
But like Brent calls it a fire in the basement, right? The more that I
Mhm.
help her, then all of a sudden her people are like, oh, wow, Angie's got like, 25 people in there. I guess I better get to work, right?
Yeah.
So I try to go through in my organization and see who has questions, who's rising, where do they need help? And that's the majority of what I do.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because we're the same thing. We have a large group over here, and we do this every Monday, and then Tuesday we usually bring an icon agent in, somebody from EXP just to come train. And we'll get 30, sometimes 40, 50. If it's a big, big player, maybe 60, 70. But we got a huge group, almost a couple thousand agents, and we'll
Yeah.
get 30, 40, 50 to show up. You're just like, and yet the people that do show up frequently and plug in and apply what they learned, they get massive results and they say how incredible it is, but we just cannot seem to get it. But I've been on, with Kindreds, I've been on some of their trainings where they get 15,000 and they'll have 40, 50 show up. You're like, what? It's unreal.
And Brent does
Unbelievable.
every Tuesday at 1:30, he does a call. And it's always great. You guys are always welcome to hop on that. I think it's
Who does? You said
Brent
Jay?
does. Brent does every Tuesday at 1:30 my time, 1 Pacific time.
1:30 Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
And how long a call is that one?
It's
What does he do?
usually an hour or less, and he always has great people, but there's usually 20 to 30 people in there. And Brent's got what, the biggest organization in all of them?
Is it production focused?
No, that one is always agent attraction focused.
Rev share? Huh.
Mm-hmm. And then he does it right after that at 2:10, he does a production one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you guys can plug that in 1:30 Pacific, and you can go to Brent's site, sprintgov.com, and
Yeah.
get all that probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions here? Hunter, you got a question, my friend? Anybody got a question for Marguerite?
Not no, I don't. But I want to say thank you to Marguerite. I took some great notes, and I mean, she has a really good system here. I like it, so I appreciate your
Oh,
time.
thank you very
Awesome.
much.
And Hunter, are you from San Fran? I see that background.
No, this is a random photo in the back. I'm from Kansas City,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Thinking you're out in Cali too.
And you guys, let me tell you too, I know that, life happens, but it's so much better when you put your cameras on. I mean, imagine going to a networking event, and you all got bags over your head. Right? I mean, I get it. We're in a Zoom world, but it's so much better to see your faces and see the reactions in your
No doubt.
faces and the engagement in your faces,
Yeah.
than for people to not
There
be.
comes Daryl.
And I
Yeah.
get it. Oh, there you are. See,
Don.
I
All
get it. I'd love to
right.
keep my camera off many times too, but um, it's just so much better when we can see your faces and when we can all talk and engage, and it's just so much better. So there, I love seeing your faces. Look,
Agreed.
Melvin is in San Francisco there with Hunter.
Now I know Melvin's out there in Cali.
Where are you located at, Melvin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where are you
Gotcha.
located?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay, so you're down south. All right, cool.
Yeah, and Melvin's got a pretty good sized group. Melvin, you're 100 plus, right, Melvin?
Well, I'm getting there, roughly about 70.
That's okay. 70 is better than
I'm
zero. Let's go. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. And I appreciate you guys all jumping on camera. And Daryl's on there. Anybody got any question before we let her? We got 3 or 4 minutes. We got a 32-year veteran here. She's rocking it. Production, all of it. Attraction. Anybody got one last question here for Marguerite before we jump?
Hey,
Anything?
hey, Marguerite. I came in at the last hour. Where are you from?
I'm from Northern California. I actually live in Lincoln outside of Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, Lincoln Heights.
No, Lincoln, California. So I'm up by Roseville, Rockland, like
Okay.
on the way to Tahoe.
Oh, cool, cool. I have some family over there in that area.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lincoln
cool.
is a great area. If I ever can help you out up here, let me know.
Awesome, awesome. Great stuff.
Where are you where are you, Daryl?
Well, I'm over here in the South Bay area. Like Melvin said, LA, but we're in San Pedro, Torrance,
Oh yeah.
Harbor City.
Yep, I know
Yeah.
exactly where that is. I have Wanda Torres is down in that area. She's an agent down in that down in Los Angeles area. She's great.
Hey, real quick, Marguerite, I'll ask you another question. You mentioned of those agents, your three that are builders. Any one of those three have more than 100, you said, in their group?
Uh, three of them do. Gail has
Would you mind if I reached out to them to see, do you think they'd be open for me to bring them in? Sometimes when you have somebody with a group that size, you know that, and if they're in the fire, they're in it like right now doing it. Do you have anybody who's really actively attracting
I mean,
agents right now?
Gail's a great guest if you can get her. Gail is a great story because she left California 3 years ago and moved to Florida, and she's crushing it out there, crushing it. Um, she has 100 and I don't know 70 agents, I guess.
Oh,
She's
wow.
great.
Okay.
Julie and Lee Moritas are out of Michigan, and they have 125.
Nice. I'll shoot you an email after to have you just send me their names and contact. I'll reach out maybe sometime in September, October, see if I can get, if they're open to that. Do you know if
Yeah,
anyone's ever
I know
asked them?
Gail would be open to it.
Okay,
And Lee and Julie probably will too. They're just in Greece right now.
cool. Cool,
So
cool. Well, wonderful. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on all your success. Really, really mean that. And anything that we can do to help out at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're all part of a group called the Freedom Team, and we're here to help any way that we can as well. So, other than that, you guys, everybody, thank you for coming on. Marguerite, would you like me to shoot you the recording over when I've got
yeah, that'd be
got hold of
great.
it?
Yeah,
Okay, fantastic.
reels
Well,
out of it. So
thank you so much for your time. Congrats,
thank
and
you
please let me
all.
know if we can help with anything. Okay?
You guys are awesome.
Thank you,
Make it a
dear.
great day.
Great.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye bye.